Okay. All right, so I'm back. Oh man, oh man, oh man, that was rough. That was rough. I thought I was gonna die. I don't know what happened. I haven't eaten anything all day. I just ate before the stream, and that was really nuts. So anyway, I'm just gonna finish up real quick here. Um, it's funny because I had my little emergency thing, and then the dog came and let me know, "Hey, motherfucker, I'm hungry." So I went and fed the dog. Uh, so that was that. I did want to share with you guys though a couple of things. First one, augmented truth, which is what the name was supposed to be for this particular book. Uh, is now finalized. So this is the one that will be pushed out to Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and all that other fun stuff. And the layout is perfect now. Everything is the way it's supposed to be. The inside is good. Blah 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 blah. And just also kind of on a tail end of what I said on the last stream, that's kind of like an idea of a full page ad. So imagine um, a company's ad or something inside of that. And also the other story that out now is dude, just kill yourself. And that one came out super good. I'm really thrilled with it. Um, so yeah. So anyway, that's just the last little update I wanted to add into my previous stream. Whew, how embarrassing is that? Man, sometimes you have a situation that pops off and you just got to handle business. And then I finished and I fed the dog and I took care of all of that good stuff. And now I'm going to go ahead and break away. I just wanted to have a better ending than the last one because the last episode was pretty shitty. See what I did there? Pretty shitty. So anyway, all right, guys, that's it for now. Next week I will be in Vegas, so there won't be a live stream, but there will be videos. I will have some videos. Um, but hey, Lyra. But I won't have any live stuff next week. So next week there won't be any live things. Yeah, pretty sure. But there will be a lot of posting that will happen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I will be posting up locations where these are being dropped. So it'll be photographs and I'll be telling people, if you're over in this area, go check out such and such. There's a copy sitting in the girls' bathroom or the boys' bathroom or whatever, and that way people can, uh, if they're following it and they happen to be in the area, they can go grab one. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of cool. Um, Also, just to give you guys a heads up, also the second version of Magic Really Sucks, or second issue, second volume. There you go, brain's working. Second volume is out, is available, and me and Lyra had already finished the third book a while back. So that one is getting final formatting in regards to the chapter layouts, the cover, the back cover, and all of that good stuff. And that will be popping off October 15th. And you'd be surprised. You think, oh yeah, October is far from now. I was just talking to my son. We're going to blink here and we'll be in August. And we'll blink again and then we'll be September. Then October. And then once October hits, everything starts to come really quickly, right? So then you have like Halloween, you have Thanksgiving, then you have Christmas, and then you're in the new year. So, the game plan for this calendar year to finish out this year, we already have six of the novellas done right now. 6 novellas are done. I plan on doing in that same period of time. So let's see here. I'm gonna start hard and heavy when I get back. So if we keep at the track that we were doing, another 6. Let's see. We started in May, June, July. So 2 a month is what we're kind of looking at. So if we start again, August. So August, September, October, November, December. So 5. So we could potentially have another 10 more novellas. So 10 more novellas. We will definitely have Magic Really Sucks 3 because Lyra helped me with that one. And maybe, just maybe, my rewrite of Convergence 2012 will be done. And I'm also I'm trying to decide between Angelic Revelations or Happy Core. Those are the 2 big books that I'm playing with right now, trying to figure out which one. Yeah, those are the big ones. The other big book that kind of plays within the Magic Really Sucks universe is Superpowers Really Suck. So that one, superhero ends up inside of the world of Magic Really Sucks, and some very interesting things happen. So that one, I might start working on that one, and that I might slot and aim for that one to come out first quarter 2020. So hopefully by the time December rolls around, there will be 10 more novellas. There will be 1 anthology for sure, which will be kind of a depending on how many pages it is, it might end up being 1 or 2 books for the anthology collected. It'll be like the collected stories of 2019, I guess, or something like that. So like The Boys, probably not as hardcore as The Boys. The Boys is hilarity. That shit is fucking awesome, and I can't wait to watch it. I love the premise, and I love Carl. Carl's one of my favorite actors. I just love the guy. I think he's fucking amazing. I know for a fact that Superpowers Really Suck is not going to be that hardcore because it's inside the same realm of Magic Really Sucks, and Magic Really Sucks doesn't have a single F-bomb anywhere in it. This is really young adult and up, and I did a really good job of no language, real language, or real super disturbing stuff in any of the Magic Really Sucks books. That being said, I do have a superhero series of books that I am writing. One of them is called Amazing Powers. That's the series. It's called Amazing Powers, and that is hardcore. That's my hardcore superhero series. And also, here, hang on, I've got a list of. Actually, I can tell you guys. I can share with you guys the list of what I'm working on over the next 3 years will encompass. Obviously, Magic Really Sucks 3, Volume 3 Redemption. The very next novella from Noveps is most likely going to be Choices. That's what I'm slotted in here right now. The next real-time story that's going to be turned into a novella that also will have a free audiobook that goes with it. It's going to be Found and Lost Again. One of the next novels I'll be working on is Angelic Revelations, which I started years ago, but I'm going to finish up. Then, of course, the Sordid Adventures of Farouk Fantouk and Jizzy J series is going to start. Happy Core, the Kimo Jackson saga, that's going to be going. And so, as far as in the realm of Magic Really Sucks, there's Superpowers Really Suck. That's a trilogy. Magic Really Sucks trilogy, After Darkfall trilogy. There's 3 books for that. There'll be 3 Magic Really Sucks one-offs. One of them is called Valk. One is called Thieves' Tales. And one's called I Do. So that's another 6, actually 9 stories, full-fledged novels to take place inside of the Magic Really Sucks environment. Then there's Cross Country, Asian Vampire Khitan. That AVK is a trilogy. Tatted Soul is a trilogy. Harbinger is a single alien invasion story. Prospectors is a different type of alien invasion type story. That's a trilogy. Greatest Depression is a single story. Cell Number 12 is a single story. Eternal Love is a single story. My Brother's Keeper, that's a fun story. That's a really heartstring story right there. That one is kind of sci-fi fantasy where, dad's got a special needs kids. He's getting older. His wife died, and he finds a way to open a portal. But that portal shows him an alternate reality where his wife is alive and his son doesn't have isn't a down kid. And so there's a little play on that word there, My Brother's Keeper. So anyway, that one is a story I'm working on. Terrible Twos. That's a fun story, alien story. This is my Earth. This is my home, Earth. The Killer in You. Sleeping Reality is a mind fuck story. Let's see. Amazing Powers. So that's an ongoing series, and that's actually going to be a novella series. So that's going to pop off relatively soon here. The Righteous Lie is a full-fledged novel, just a single novel. The Living Shield also is kind of in the same vein as Amazing Powers, and it's super hardcore. And it's probably the only story that I have out of these 89 stories that actually has a gay character in it that is a primary character, and it's actually for a very specific reason. As I was specking that story out, why that was an important storytelling part, why it was important that character be gay. It's not to further an agenda or anything else. It's just a logistical component that's like, shit, that makes things very difficult with this character being gay. And, we'll talk about that stuff way later on. We're All Monsters. Seriously. That's also an ongoing novella series. There's 3 of those that I have planned. Scars, which we did do a real-time story time on one of the characters. That's going to be, I've also decided that's going to be a novella series as well. I'm going to break that into 5 pieces so far. Calculated Vengeance is a full novel. Multiplicity is a full novel. Utopia is an ongoing novella series, which the very first one was 3 Simple Rules. There's 5 of those. Child Hunter is a supernatural crime thriller where a serial killer is hunting children, and as he leaves notes behind saying what their crimes would have been as they grew up, and they would have been responsible for some very bad atrocities. And of course, this person's killing children, so people are like, he's fucking nuts. But then, there's a couple of people that know certain things because they dabble with premonition shit, and so they're like, wait a minute, maybe this is not so crazy. The Poet, that's an ongoing novella series. I have 6 of those planned. Found and Lost Again, so that one you guys know about from Real Time Storytime. That's going to be an ongoing novella series. I have 3 stories on that one planned already. Spook Time Investigators, I think we all had a good time with that one. I have that's going to be an ongoing novella series, and there's 4 stories planned on that one right now. Mommy Died, but She's Not Dead Dead. That's also a real-time story time piece, and that's going to be an ongoing novella series. Cyber Wars, that one also is off of, what was it? Kill the Bitch, I think was the name of that story. So Cyber Wars is the kind of like the $6 billion man meets James Bond and some other stuff. Harry's Situation, that one already came out, but I have 5 additional stories planned on that one. Rusted Blade, that's also an ongoing series. I have 4 additional stories in that series planned out. Grind or They Die, that is a single novel. So all of those planned are about 89 stories, and that's just for right now. So that's planned for the next 3 years. That's what I've got planned. So you can see there's quite a bit of content that I've got planned. And a lot of these I already have very loose outlines, and I kind of know where they're going to go. So, yeah, do I have something that's like The Boys? Most definitely. It's Amazing Powers. And the concept about Amazing Powers, which makes it a very different superhero storyline, is the fact that one day everybody wakes up and every person on the planet, with the exception of criminals, mentally insane people, mentally handicapped people, all suddenly have superpowers. And the superpowers are kind of based off of their passion and their calling in life. So, for example, if you were a firefighter and your passion was firefighting, then your ability is around fire control. Now, this is where things are a little different than most superhero stories. They wake up immediately understanding the full scope of what they can and what they cannot do with their abilities. There is no trial and error. Oh, what can I do? No, they wake up instantly knowing exactly what they can do. So that makes 98% of the population suddenly superpowered. And the only people that don't, like I mentioned, were the criminals. The criminals, for whatever reason, they're just normal folks. The crazy people are instantly cured. They're not crazy anymore. And all of the people that had mental handicaps, retardation, you name it, the whole gamut. I don't care if it's autism, autistic, Asperger's, whatever. You're suddenly normal. And so that creates a very interesting split in society, because if you don't have superpowers, that fell you into one of those other camps, right? And then the other thing is, now suddenly everybody's got superpowers in regards to their primary passion. What happens to the world? What happens to communities buying and everything else? You know what I mean? So that's an interesting series, and I've actually written 4 of those short stories around people inside of the Amazing Powers environment. So yeah, so I have a ton of stuff planned, and again, those are all just the fiction stuff. I'm always making new journals, workbooks, things like that. I also am working on a quasi self-help book. It's more, I call it the Experience Life, In It to Win It. And it's basically how I go about doing my day-to-day stuff, holding down a regular full-time job, as well as doing all of this shit, as well as doing YouTube, as well as being a full-time dad and a full-time father, and also now, a full-time caretaker of dogs and things like that. So you can see I always have my hands full, and so I always have people ask me, how the fuck do you do that, dude? And I'm like, okay. So I figured I would write something that people could refer to, and then a lot of these workbooks and journals that I've been using, like these, you can already see they're all, that's the logo right there, Experience Life, right? So a lot of these workbooks are all part of the Experience Life series. So these books, these workbooks are not meant to just be generic. They're also part of a bigger picture. So everything, everything is going to tie in together. Let's see. How about those who are savants becoming even better at their ability? Well, so inside of Amazing Power specifically, because that's what we're talking about, the people, so that would fall under mental differences, right? So they're different than the vast majority of the rest of the people. So anybody who had something different outside the scope of what was considered normal is suddenly reduced to what was the old normal. So in regards to people that, had precog abilities in of themselves in the first place, suddenly them being normal has ramifications also. And there's a question, well, why? And there's a very specific reason why that has to happen. But it happens and it evolves as the story goes, because the very first obvious question should be on everybody's mind is, where the fuck did all the power come from? You know what I mean? That's the thing that's kind of crazy. What the hell here? I think this guy was not supposed to be on. Yeah, that's funny. This guy was sitting on that whole time. Turned it off. It's supposed to be like that. So anyway, yeah, that show though, The Boys, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward, if I could I might, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make time to watch that so I can actually fucking review it, and then I can justify it to myself why I would do that. Now, on the Netflix side, Another Life just popped off, and that one looks interesting too, because it's called, the synopsis on that is, a mysterious alien object, a perilous mission, a gutsy crew to protect humankind. They will cross the universe to answer the question, friend or foe. So I'm digging it. It's got one of the chicks that played Starbuck in Battlestar Galactica. I know some people, she's got the kind of personality you either love or hate her. I loved her. I thought she was just a bundle of dynamite, real fun, very emotional. You could see it in her face and her physicality. So I liked her. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her again, because she's been in a couple other things. I think she was in Longhorn and a few other shows. So I'm actually happy to see that she's still working, because I think she's a very good actress. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she's in there. She's one of the primary actresses inside of Another Life. So, but anyway, that was one I'm interested in. There's another movie called Point Blank. It's got the dude that plays Falcon in Captain America, and it's got the guy that plays Crossbones, also from Captain America, on opposite sides of each other. And so that's something I wanted to check out. I also wanted to check out this show called Russian Doll. It looks kind of interesting. Not sure if I'm going to get around to watching that one or not, but it was something I did want to see. And of course, the new Jessica Jones that came out, I wanted to watch that. That's the final Marvel thing on Netflix. So I kind of wanted to see the swan song of the one that started it all, because I felt Marvel did a really good job on Netflix. With Netflix, I think Netflix did a good job with the titles that they had. There's another show called The Silence. I want to see that. I Am Mother. I want to see that. Let's see. What else do I have on my list? I have a list of shit I want to watch. I think that's... Oh, Polar. I want to see that. And I believe... Oh, and I kind of wanted to check out the series Happy. I don't know if any of you guys had seen that. Because it's kind of crazy. Got a guy... Yeah, it looks Happy. If you're not familiar with it, it's got like a rendered unicorn apparition type thing that is with this guy or something, and it's crazy. I just kind of, I really want to check that out. I just don't know I just don't know if I'm going to be able to. Another one that was real fun before I started, I saw the first season, but I think it's on season 3 now, and I never got to watch any more of it, was Santa Clarita Diet. I thought that was really cute, uh, really good, fun characters in there. But I never got a chance to really finish watching it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not. And the other one that I really wanted to check out was damn it, where is it at? There was a TV series that, oh, Blacklist is still going. That's fucking hot. I really love Blacklist. I wanted to finish watching that. The Magicians, I really enjoyed watching that one too. I just never have time to really sit and watch the shit I want to watch. Um Damn it, what was the show? Anyway, it doesn't really matter, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Uh, but I would think I will be able to watch Point Blank. I think I will be able to catch Jessica Jones at some point, Another Life, and definitely, if nothing else, The Boys. So The Boys, I think, is going to be just epic. So I'm looking forward to that. There's also a coming out, I think, soon, actually. There is a martial arts film. Not, yeah, Shang-Chi. I'm interested in that later, but that shit is fucking years from now. We're looking at, what, 2020, 21, like before they start the next phase of the Marvel stuff. So, whatever. I'll hold off on judging that until I see what the fuck they're gonna do, because I'm already seeing Thor. They're bringing Jane in to do the female Thor thing, and I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of, we'll see. But there is, what is it? It's like a Asian thing, supernatural. This guy, it's in Chinatown. He, it's the bad guy that was just in the newest John Wick. The one Asian guy that says, I'm a big fan of John Wick. I forget his name. He's also was in Hawaii Five-0, and he's been in American, what is that? Iron Chef America. Like, he was the chairman of that. He's a martial artist, real good dude. But there's another big martial artist playing a thing, and so basically all of these old spirits go in him, and he's got to take out this bad thing, and ends up putting him against his dad or something like that. So it'll be interesting. Marvel has been going down the SJW route for a long time, and they are basically killing themselves at this point. Yes, Mark the Costco's. Yes, that's the guy. That's definitely the guy. But what's funny is they call him the old bald-headed guy, which I'm like, when did he fucking become old? Because he's not fucking old, okay? He's a fucking amazing guy, looks fucking great. He's not an old guy, and it kind of offends me. Well, I guess I'd be considered an old guy too to those same fuckers. So I guess it's fine, but it kind of rubs me wrong. But yeah, he's a guy. He's something else. He's definitely a person I admire. I think very highly of. I think he has done some amazing things and positioned himself very well in a lot of different mediums. And so for him, I'm super thrilled seeing him in a lot of stuff. But there's a Netflix show, I believe it's Netflix, that's coming out. That's him in a martial art thing. I think I just saw a trailer the other day. So I'm looking forward to that. What time is it? Okay, I got to make sure because I shift change. I'm still on Graveyard, but shift changes on Saturdays and Sundays are weird. I have to do them early. Let's see, what else did I want to touch on with you guys real quick? So yeah, so I think I'll be doing some get some of those show reviews in, because I need to get some content. I don't have any, and those are fast. I can bang reviews on stuff like that pretty quick. I can talk about a little bit. The Expanse, I think that is sitting over on Amazon. But I'm super thrilled. They have a whole nother series of Expanse coming out, and that was really, really super good sci-fi. Holy shit. Another good sci-fi I only saw one episode of, but I'm anxious to see more of it, was Night Flyers from George R.R. Martin. That first episode that I watched was like, holy shit. I couldn't believe Sci-Fi put that out. It was like legit. It was fucking super legit. But, you know, it's super exciting to see a lot of this content being made, and it gives me hopes because, you know, as Lyra will attest, I am really racking my brains trying to come up with some very, very, very interesting stories that you can sit and read, right, and go through a whole adventure in just a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours, and then enjoy it. Be like, holy shit, I didn't see that coming. And I try my best when I write my stories to put some fun little twists. I love to put twists in my story. And when you start to read my stuff, you'll start to see a pattern. You'll start to be like, aha. And you're kind of cheating a little bit because you're reading the story, but then you're always asking in the back of your mind, what the fuck has Rob got planned? Okay, do I take this shit at face value? Because something's not quite right here. Something in the back of my mind is not right here. So I know Rob's going to do a flip-de-flu on me, and I need to know what the fuck is going on here. So that's what I do with these, and I'm really making a concerted effort to push these out where most people, most writers don't fuck with this formula. They don't like these quick stories. I love them because I can then produce these little pocketbooks, and anybody can fit these inside of a briefcase, inside of a jacket, inside pocket, whatever. And if you happen to be riding a bus, a train, or whatever, and you need to escape for a little bit, fucking boom, grab one of these bitches, take off, and you know you're out and about. And the other thing that it does is allows me to create collectible shit. And by creating collectible shit, that triggers shit in my little nerdy brain to allow motherfuckers to, you know, they collect the sequence. They go from one to whatever, or they just collect the series that they're interested in. You know, if you only like the werewolf stories, fuck it. You only fuck with the werewolf stories. If you want all of the sci-fi stuff, you grab the sci-fi stuff. But it also gives people, you know, a way to get back in and get the brain working again, because I think too often now people are too confident and lackadaisical in their thinking. They just want to watch and veg out with TV, but their brains aren't growing that way. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, we got Leo in here. What's up, motherfucker? It's been a while, but I'm watching my friend. This better not suck. Love you. Congrats on all your recent accomplishments with your books. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. You know, as far as sucking, I'm at the point where I just try to be me and I just try to share my life, because fuck, YouTube is really not allowing anything fun to be about fun. Rob, how about a story about Bladesmith and the people he makes blade for? That's probably not a bad idea. One of my early books that I absolutely adored was by Fred Saberhagen, and it was called The Book of Swords. And they had a god named Vulcan that, I think it was Vulcan, that smithed blades, and these blades were fucking magical and all this other stuff. And I always thought that was as a Dungeons and Dragons geek, that shit resonated with me. And I had all these special swords inside of some of my campaigns and stuff like that. But making a modern day version where it's something like, Peter Kohler, right? So imagine Peter Kohler, but instead of him just making these awesome fucking epic blades, but he makes instead these epic blades that he purposely puts into play in the military, in certain groups and stuff like that, so that they get used. And as they're getting used, they're building mana, and that stuff kind of goes to stuff. So, you know, it's definitely a good idea, and it is something that I have toyed with in the past. Like I said, Saberhagen and his Book of Swords was almost as influential on me as Roger Zelazny's Nine Princes in Amber. So this is by far my favorite book series of all time, and I wish I could actually do a modern interpretation of this, but because of the way that his estate is with his ex-wife, that shit will never happen. But people that know that book and people that read my books will definitely see the influence there, because Roger Zelazny is just, my opinion, one of the best fantasy writers that existed ever. But yeah, my goal when doing these books is first and foremost to get people reading again, because I'm really sick and tired having conversations with young people that tell me, reading, I've never read a book, and if I want to watch it, I'll just wait for the movie. And I'm just like, fuck that. That just makes a nation of fucking brain sloshed, easy targets. You need to work your brain out, as it's your most important fucking muscle in your body. And reading is amazing because I forget which one of the writers that I've been researching and studying under said, you write one book and it's read a million times in different ways, because you write something and every reader interprets something completely different than what I set out to write. I write something, I put it out, you read it, and you're like, dude, that part about that was a great commentary about this, this, and this. And you're like, transparency and honesty, that's a lot smarter than I actually am. I'd never meant to state that. Maybe there was a collective conscious shit in there, but that wasn't my intent. You guys are smarter than me. You made that connection. I didn't, and then, the other thing is I want to start feeding different forms of entertainment with new content. I'm tired and exhausted of seeing the same shit rehashed over and over and over ad nauseum. It's fucking driving me nuts. New content, right? And then also, I'm sick and tired of going back to what Garen asking about with Marvel and their social justice warrior initiatives that they're doing now. I'm really sick and tired of the comic book industry fucking people, charging them damn near $5 for a fucking comic book that does not have a complete story. And by the time you're done, you have to buy 5 or 6 of these motherfuckers to get a complete story. And you spent 30, 40 fucking dollars on it, and it's filled with propaganda and bullshit. And you're just like, are you fucking serious? And that, unfortunately, is the state of comics, which is why I did a format like this that looks very reminiscent of comic books. I self-rate myself. For example, this one I says contents, vulgarity, violence, and a bloody good time. Suggested age is 15. And I let you know off the bat, this is a futuristic urban fantasy novella. And this is volume 1, issue 1 of the real-time storytime stuff. So people that come and watch on Sundays and they see the real-time storytime show, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Hey, what's up, Chris? What's cracking, dude? Just talking about books and some other stuff that I've got going on. So, I price these bitches at like $4.25. It's cheaper than a comic book. You're working your brain out. You're getting a complete fucking story, and you're not being indoctrinated into any bullshit, because I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I have no fucking agendas. I'm just telling you a fun fucking story, and they go all over the place. Some of my shit deals with conspiracies, like MK Ultra and some stuff like that. Some deal with stuff like indirectly religious stuff. Like, so this one, for example, is Infernal Justice. So this is a story about a bad guy being chased by a fucking demon that wants to ass rape him and bring him to hell. Okay, there you go. And it's got some fun little twists through it and everything, but I fucking put advisories all over this. This is not a child's book. 18 plus recommended. Boom. This is not little kid shit. This is grown people shit. So I write what I like, and people they expect certain shit. They expect it a certain way, and that's why I can't get an agent anywhere to represent me, because they do not like my politics or my ideology. And the sad thing is, they're so narrow-minded that they can't fathom that even though I might think a certain way or talk a certain way, that I cannot create a story with compelling characters that are on the other side of that agenda. You know what I mean? It's really pathetic, actually. The other thing is, I write these stories narrative heavy for the most part, because what I found in my research is I watched people read, my kids and some of their friends. I'd watch them read, and there'd be a big block of paragraph text that's talking about, inner play, inner thoughts, things of that nature, blah, 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 or a big description of a room, and they're all artsy and talking about the way the paint's peeling and this and that, which I did. I did all of this in Convergence 2012. I went all artsy. I did my whole, I'm a real serious writer type shit with Convergence 2012. When I did Magic Really Sucks, I wanted to throw some mud and experiment a little bit, and I found something that worked. I'd watch my kids as they'd read. They'd read a paragraph to a point where there was relevant information. Once the relevant information was gone and it got into really heavy description, I watched them do this suddenly. As soon as they saw dialogue, they jumped down to the dialogue. And I was like, interesting. And they'd read through the dialogue, and they wouldn't skimp on the dialogue. Anything that was in dialogue, boy, they read it. And I thought, interesting. So I started to take that mindset and really change it up. And that also allows me inside of these stories to really tell a full story, and it's kind of stripping away a lot of the excess. Now, if you love Stephen King and you love all of that extra narrative in regards to describing characters that are completely irrelevant to the pacing and plotting of the story, this ain't your shit. You're going to hate it. I have 2 friends that love Stephen King, and they refuse to read my shit. They just won't read it. And I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. Because they started reading it, and they're like, dude, there's a lot of dialogue here. You sure you don't want to make this into a screenplay? And I'm like, ha, ha, ha. No. But that's how I write my stories. And like I said, people start reading them. And typically, I think the longest that I've seen any of my peers or my kids or anybody else take for my books has been 3 sittings. And that's because, they were taking their time or whatever else. Most people tend to get it done in about 1 reading. They sit down and they read it. Now, if you're reading it while you're sitting on a train or something and you got like 30 minutes or whatever, it might be 4 or 5 readings for you. I have one friend, he's a very, 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 very slow reader. He said it would take him even this size. He said it would take him probably a month to read it, but he said, and I quote, but I would finish it, as opposed to reading my other book, right? So he's like, yeah, I would much rather read this one than this one. And it's funny because I'm like, you're just looking at it just from, the size of it. He's like, yeah, that's okay. That's fair. So that's that. Let's see. Speaking of facts, people don't want to read anymore. They don't want to use their imagination, want to be told what to think, even when it comes to entertainment. Yeah, and that's dangerous. That's super dangerous. You should think, you should be your own person. You should do your own due diligence. You do your own research, not be fucking lazy, and never, ever, ever allow another man, woman, whoever, to tell you what to think. They can give you suggestions off of experience like we do with our children, but at the same time, you kind of owe it to yourself to do your own fucking research and make your own thoughts, right? I read a book more than once and get something new every time I read it. Yeah, it's the same. I mean, shit, every time, even watching a fucking movie. How many times do we watch a movie and then we go watch it a second time and go, dude, I missed that. And that's a fucking movie where we're sitting there like an engaged little fucking, gerbil just watching, right? And we miss shit there. Yeah, there's always something you're going to miss. And then the cool thing is when you read a book and then there's a flip. And so you get, and you go, what? And then you go and you're looking at things like I hide shit in my covers. So there's things inside the cover here that you might not notice when you first look at the cover. But when you read the story and you come back and you look at that, you're like, oh, fuck me. Dude, there's that there. There was that there. There was like, it makes sense. Like the covers become part of the story. And this is something that I try to do when I'm telling my stories. Drop Force says, wow, seems rather edge of your seat reading. It is and it isn't. It's, I try to make them fast paced. I try to keep you turning pages. My daughter's best friend Mariah was here the other day, and she read this one, which was augmented truth. This is the biggest one I have of a novella right now, and I think it's 88 pages. No, I'm sorry, it's 79 pages. Wait, no. It is 82 pages. So 82 pages, and she said, and I quote, "You made it really hard for me to put the book down. Like, there was things I had to do, but I wanted to keep reading." And I was like, that was the most important thing that I wanted to do, because she was a perfect example of who I'm going after. She's, what is she, 17 years old, and watches a ton of YouTube, this, that, and everything else. And I was like, okay, you read it. Now ask me your questions. And she had questions. And that is the only way you ever really know if people read your shit. If people read your shit, they build questions up as they're going, like, wait a minute, so this is what happened? I'm like, yeah. She was like, oh, wow. So, but it was a good pace for her, but it wasn't so relentless that she was like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. Like, she really enjoyed the ride. So I was super happy about that. Right. Let's see. Today's comic industry, Marvel in particular, is a perfect example of get woke, go broke. No shit. In my opinion, Stephen King hasn't written anything worth reading since Needful Things. I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that. And some of the shit he publicly says too just makes me like, dude, what the fuck? Like, as a writer, I write things, and before I was writing, I had this fucking show. So obviously on this show, I have said a lot of out of left field shit that I still stand behind to this day. I say crazy shit and I stand behind it because I don't give a fuck. But, that has hurt me in the publishing arena because people don't want to touch me with a fucking borrowed dick. Like, they're like, nope, I don't want to fuck with this dude just because. And that makes this a big uphill battle. It makes it more of a organic kind of grassroots movement type thing, which is fine because I really don't care. But I look at some of the shit he says and I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious? Like it's crazy some of the shit he says, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. And he's old school. I mean, he's super old school. Like, I look at Patterson, I look at Kuntz, and I look at, Dan Brown and all these other guys, and look at stuff that they say, and I look at stuff how they position themselves, and I'm like, okay, there's a certain level where you remove yourself. Now, obviously, because, as I said, I'm totally broke that protocol, because before I started writing all this shit, I was already out talking the biggest, wildest shit. So I can't retract any of that. I can't, and the damage is done. You know what I mean? But here's people that, King specifically, that is out and is probably one of the most widely acknowledged and respected writers out there, and he's just talking this wild, crazy shit, and I'm just like, whatever, dude, it's fine. But at the same time, some of the stuff that he talks shit about, I'm like, dude, you should not throw rocks. I swear to God. Like, I love how some people will say, well, that rich person should do this. And I'm like, dude, you're also fucking rich. So why aren't you yourself doing this? So that's one of those things where you need to talk shit, you're going to get hit. And it will come back. You throw them fucking boomerangs. Nacho Cheese, hey, did you ever plan on testing the ZT Felon? Yes, I do. There's a couple problems, guys, in regards to the blade testing stuff. So I have the Felon. I have a few blades. Like, a lot of my blades, for the most part, are gone. Most of the blades that I have left now are ones that I have very strong sentimental value with. And there's two blades in particular that are here right now that I've done testing with, but I've not published my results on just because the videos were shitty. There's no nice way of saying it. I want to test them, but the problem is we're in a new house. Funds, because of the house, are fucked. I have the Felon sitting there, and I bought that out of my own pocket, and I had made the decision that I was indeed going to test it, and I did publicly state that I am going to test the Felon. The problem then came pigheads. So I got known as the frozen pighead guy. And in the beginning, it was kind of funny and it was fun and I didn't really mind it. But as time went on, that's all people would acknowledge and note was, hey, that's the fucking crazy pighead guy. I don't really want my fucking legacy to be that motherfucker is a frozen pighead guy. Um, I wrote a trilogy, a full fucking trilogy, in 5 fucking months. I have written 6 books in the last 3 months, and I do a real-time story time every Sunday where crazy motherfuckers like some of these that are on the list right here come in and say really outlandish crazy shit to me, and I have 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes to make a fucking story and perform it real time for the viewers. But I'm known as the fucking frozen pighead guy. That presents a problem for me because as I segue to try to become more of a content creator, because look, YouTube fucks me. It'd be one thing if my channels weren't getting demonetized, constantly the second I hit publish. I do a fucking frozen pighead thing with a blade. I get my sponsors have dropped me. Tops Knives is a channel sponsor, but that's I brokered directly with them. But in regards to YouTube, YouTube sticks a dick in my ass every chance they get. So, what's the reward for me doing the frozen pighead shit? And if I'm not doing the frozen pighead shit, then really what am I left? I'm chopping fucking wood. Okay, I can chop wood. I can tell you what I fucking think about the blade. I could tell you, this, that, and everything else. But when you get to something like the Felon is not a wood processing blade. It is a killing tool. It is meant to shank a motherfucker, cut them apart nicely, and intimidate the shit out of anybody who has any kind of a negative inclination to fuck with you. So, it's kind of a quandary, right? Like, how do I really do a good test with something like the Felon? So it is something I plan on doing. I'm still just trying to figure it out. I'm playing with ballistic gel and a few other things, because I figured, if YouTube's going to demonetize me and not let me make any money on videos anyway, fuck it, then I might as well get back into gun shit, start shooting the fuck out of stuff, do ballistic tests, things of that nature. I got a good relationship with G2 Ammo, or G2 Research, for rip ammo and things like that. I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos for them. I've got a guy, he's helping me get all of my ballistic gel made up, and that's something that's kind of planned. We were talking about summertime, but summertime got crazy and I got all this medical shit coming up, so it's just one of those things where timing sucks, life sucks, and you want to do things, you want to make a change, but nobody likes and embraces change. So you kind of get fucked on it, you know what I mean? But yes, the ZT Felon is still here. Is something I did not get rid of. It is something I will be reviewing. But again, these are things that, I came out of my own pocket. Nobody gave it to me. And there was a while there I didn't really want to test it, but then I thought, yeah, fuck. And I did say I was going to test it. So yes, it will get tested. I couldn't find anything my boys love to read until Lord of the Rings, Sword of Truth, and the Witcher series. Oh yeah. So that's the other thing too, is finding something that, kids are going to like. And there is a good, huge section inside of the bookstores that handle the young adult and lower. My stuff typically skewers 13 is the absolute youngest to even touch my novellas. Magic really sucks. Yeah, it's probably, I don't know, 11 and up is probably fair, just because it does deal with stuff like cerebral things. It talks about some things like alternate universe, or that's just a rough way of saying it, but so that's that. But then you fuck with these other books, 13 and up, and a couple of these are 18 and up. So let's see, 2 books I read when I had the measles, the yearling, and Where the Red Fern Grows. Cool. Those are 2 great books. My Side of the Mountain is another. Awesome. Let's see. One thing that's great in Deadpool movies is breaking the fourth wall, and it's great when writers do that too. Yeah, there's I actually have 2 stories that's going to be pretty prevalent in. One of those is where is it? It's the It is Sleeping Reality. So Sleeping Reality breaks the fourth wall quite a bit. And there's a comedy one that I have that is really, really crazy. Where there is a whole lot of, hey, turn the fucking page type thing. Where is it? It's not on here. I don't have it listed inside of these stories. So there's a couple more stories there. There was one that I was just telling my son about this. Oh, there's another story I didn't think about too. Oh god, so that's the problem. I took this list right here from one of my notebooks, and I have like 5 notebooks, and I need to go grab those other notebooks because this page that I'm looking and referring at here, I'm actually shopping it right now. I'm trying to find people inside of like producers and things like that, people that make movies, comic books, TV series, etc., video games, card games, things of that nature. I'm trying to show them that I am a content creation monster. So of course I got Magic Really Sucks 1 and 2 in here. I've got 3 Simple Rules, Rusted Blade, Infernal Justice, Harry Situation Origins, Augmented Truth, Dude Just Kill Yourself, Convergence 2012, Magic Really Sucks 3, Choices, Angelic Revelations, Sword Adventures of Rook Tuk and Jizzy J, Happy Core, etc. And it's funny because other books that aren't listed in here too, because I had Convergence 2012, but there's also 2013 The Truth and 2013 The Truth. No, 2013 Aftermath and 2014 The Truth. Those are the two, because Convergence 2012 was supposed to be a trilogy. And I've had a lot of people that were asking me about it, and I'm like, look, I've had 4,000 downloads on it, but out of those 4,000 fucking downloads, I haven't had more than one fucking comment or ratings left on it. So why am I going to invest time and effort into the sequels on those when people are happy to get a book for free and not leave a review on it, right? Or even a star review or anything. So it's just one of those things that you say, fuck, whatever. But so anyway, that's that ended up being a lot longer than I wanted it to, but that's the stuff that I'm really working on right now. The review stuff, I'm still doing some product reviews. Like I'll be doing a review on this unreleased sneak flavor. So I got this in. Me and the son have already done what we were going to do with it, tested it, reviewed it. So I will be doing stuff on this. I will be doing stuff on there are some book reviews that I'm going to be doing some stuff on, because I'm actually reading other people's books. Like I'm reading Rick Smith's, the guy, the CEO of Taser. I'm reading his book. What is it called? I have it open because I've been reading it while I've been working off and on. Because that's the other thing too. You kind of want to always be reading. It's called. Where's the title of this bitch? The title of this is, maybe I gotta go all the way back to the beginning. I got it bookmarked. So this thing is called Praise for the End of, The End of Killing, I think is what it's called. The End of Killing by Rick Smith. And he's a real cool dude. And so, anyway. Okay, real quick question for you. You plan on bushcrafting or killing? Because if you're planning on bushcrafting, Parabellum. If you plan on killing, the Felon. That's all I'm saying about that. Both awesome blades, but my leaning is more towards Felon for me, just because. But then I also have a ton of other shit. So, anything I need for bushcraft, I've got enough. And then anything for killing, well, I also got a bunch of those too. But I think really it comes down to what you want to use it for. Felon, I think that tip the way it is, I don't know. I think really depends on what your intended use is. But my leaning as a more generalized blade, Parabellum. Just personal opinion on that. So, But yeah, that's it, guys. I got to get ready to jet. I have a bunch of other stuff I got to get going tonight. I won't be sleeping again until 8 o'clock in the morning. I got a meeting right now in about 10 minutes that I got to prep for. And, the train keeps on going. But appreciate you guys checking out. Any of you motherfuckers that have not checked out the Real-Time Story Time, that's a fun fucking show. And it's on the other channel. It's on the Robert R. Ricks channel. And if you're curious, you just go to realtimestorytime.com, which is this one. http://www.realtimestorytime.com. And that's what this shit right here is. Real-Time Story Time. That also has a link to the YouTube. Check that shit out because that show is fucking fun. There's podcasts for it. It's on the blog. And always, you go to that link right there, realtimestorytime.com. You'll be able to check out the last story and everything and see what that's about. I welcome you fuckers to come. We get more blood in there to throw in some words and stuff like that. Just makes it more interesting. All right, that's it for now. We'll see you motherfuckers not next week, but the week after that. But there will be some videos that will be going up next week, just not the live show. All right, guys. Adios. Have a good night.